Imagine hearing a whisper, one that has traveled through centuries, about two stunning secrets Jesus shared with just one person. Surprisingly, it wasn't Peter, John, or any of the other traditional 12 apostles. Instead, it was Mary Magdalene, a woman whose remarkable devotion is often overlooked or misunderstood. But what made her so special that Jesus entrusted her with knowledge so profound that it could reshape entire understandings of faith? In this video, we're unveiling these two hidden teachings, exploring how they transcended the established traditions and why they speak to us with such resonance even now. We'll journey through Mary Magdalene's early life, the close bond she formed with Jesus, and the precise moments where she received these extraordinary truths. Whether you see Mary Magdalene as an unsung heroine or a guiding example of unwavering faith, her story holds surprising insights for anyone seeking a deeper spiritual path. Prepare yourself for a narrative brimming with mystery, wonder, and the power to transform how we perceive the origins of Christianity. Who was Mary Magdalene and why she mattered? To understand these secrets, we have to start with Mary Magdalene's roots. Known in some texts as Mariam of Magdala, she was from a modest fishing village on the western shore of the Sea of Galilee. Despite her seemingly ordinary background, Mary emerged in biblical accounts as a woman of substance. According to the Gospel of Luke, she was among those who provided financial support to Jesus' ministry, an unusual role for a woman of that era. This already hints at her resourcefulness and status. Yet Mary Magdalene's significance goes well beyond money. She appears in the New Testament more often than many male disciples, signifying a critical closeness to Jesus. Over the years, legends and misconceptions have clouded her identity, ranging from mislabeled sinner to the disciple chosen to receive Jesus' most intimate revelations. Strip away the myths, and you'll find a devoted follower so trusted that she stood near the cross when others fled. When Jesus was crucified, she bore witness to that harrowing moment of sorrow, and after his burial, Mary was the first person recorded to see Jesus risen, an honor that set her apart as the apostle to the apostles. This backstory sets the stage for the deeper teachings she might have held. In certain non-canonical writings, specifically the Gospel of Mary, we find allusions to special revelations she shared with the other disciples, teachings none of them had previously heard. The text itself describes how Mary's presence baffled figures like Peter, leading some to question, why would Jesus speak these words to a woman privately? But perhaps that was the point. Jesus saw beyond the norms of the time, entrusting spiritual truths to those who were truly open. So, what were these elusive secrets, and why did they matter so profoundly to early believers that they were whispered, preserved, and later partially hidden? One possibility is that Mary's personal relationship with Jesus was grounded in an intense openness. She was there in crucial moments. She asked honest, sometimes bold questions. So let's delve into the first secret, an insight into how visions are perceived and why the mind itself is the gateway to the spiritual realm. The first secret, the medium of vision. According to the Gospel of Mary, a text discovered in the late 19th century but not widely recognized in church canon, Mary shares a mysterious vision with the other disciples. Peter, stunned, asks Mary to relay the Savior's words that only she had heard. She then recounts a conversation where she questioned Jesus about the nature of visions. Do they come from the soul or the spirit? Jesus' answer was unexpected. The mind that is between the two is what sees the vision. This statement seems to divide human consciousness into three parts: soul, emotions, personality, spirit, divine essence, and mind, a bridging awareness. The mind, also referred to by terms like nous in Greek theology, has the unique ability to perceive both earthly feelings and higher spiritual truths. It's as though it stands at the crossroads, able to interpret messages from a higher plane. Why is this so important? Because it suggests that real spiritual insight doesn't just come from raw emotion, the soul, or pure divinity. the Spirit. Instead, it requires the active engagement of a mindful awareness, one that can distill and interpret divine information into human understanding. Mary Magdalene's unwavering commitment combined with her genuine curiosity may have made her the ideal receiver for such a revelation. This first secret resonates deeply with biblical stories of visions, from Abraham's divine encounters to the Old Testament prophets receiving direct messages from God. They often spoke of hearing or seeing God, yet seldom dissected the mechanism of how. The text suggests that Jesus, speaking personally to Mary, clarified that the mind is the lens that aligns spiritual revelation with our human faculties. In a modern context, it's a call to nurture our inner awareness, ensuring we stay open to intuitive whispers that might come from beyond logical thinking. If you've ever felt an inner nudge, a blend of insight and emotion that guides you toward truth, this secret reveals the hidden process behind that experience. The second secret, the ascent of the soul. Beyond the nature of visions, the Gospel of Mary describes another revelation, the soul's path of ascension. In this teaching, Jesus outlines a sequence of internal obstacles we must overcome to achieve a deeper unity with the divine. These range from clinging to material desires to battling ignorance, fear, and judgments that lock us into earthly thinking. In the text, Mary recounts how the soul travels through different stages, shedding each layer of hindrance before it can ascend to its true, enlightened state. First, it faces attachments to the physical world, our insatiable cravings, obsessions, and illusions of control. Then comes ignorance, the lack of spiritual wisdom that blinds us from recognizing our divine potential. Judgment looms next, threatening to drown us in guilt and self-reproach. Fear of death, the human instinct to cling to the mortal body, also forms a massive barrier, and the cycle completes with the soul confronting wrath or unbridled anger, a force that can scatter any sense of inner peace. Jesus' roadmap implies that once these blockages are overcome, the soul triumphantly proclaims it is free from what bound it. This structure echoes similar spiritual teachings found in other mystical branches of faith, showing that self-transformation is a universal call. Yet in the story, Mary Magdalene stands as the one who directly articulates this journey to the disciples, suggesting she was personally entrusted to pass on this advanced lesson. Perhaps she had already begun walking this path herself, prepared through years of devotion, healing, and a deep emotional bond with Jesus. Today, the ascent of the soul resonates with modern pursuits of inner growth, meditation, and enlightenment. We all wrestle with attachments, whether to success, relationships, or personal pride. We all face fear, sometimes crippling, that anchors us to what's familiar. The second secret Mary carries reminds us that each of us holds the potential to transcend these limitations, forging a direct link to the divine within. We must only be willing to embark on that demanding yet liberating voyage. Why Jesus entrusted Mary Magdalene? One lingering question is, why Mary Magdalene? Why not Peter, James, or even John, the beloved disciple? Historical context indicates women played crucial roles in supporting Jesus' ministry. They financed journeys, provided logistics, and stayed loyal at times when male disciples scattered. Yet Mary Magdalene appears singled out for something more profound, secret knowledge that explains spiritual processes in detail. Jesus often broke social norms, healing the marginalized, speaking with Samaritans, and condemning rigid religious standards. So trusting a woman with high-level teachings is consistent with his broader message that faith transcends gender, class, or heritage. In Mary, he found someone whose life story, healing from 7 demons, witnessing the crucifixion, and being first at the empty tomb, embodied the entire arc of transformation. She experienced despair, awe, and unwavering devotion all in one lifetime. Another factor might have been the readiness of her heart. Some disciples, wrestling with ambition or fear, might not have welcomed such revelations. Mary's sincerity and constant presence could have made her the most receptive channel. Looking at modern parallels, sometimes the most unexpected individuals, those with deep empathy or unshakable loyalty, are entrusted with crucial responsibilities. Of course, skepticism from the other disciples is also part of the narrative. In the surviving fragments, Peter questions Mary's authority to convey Jesus' words. This tension highlights a broader theme. Genuine spiritual insight often sparks controversy, especially when it doesn't conform to established hierarchies. Yet the texts suggest Mary Magdalene stood firm. She didn't claim to have superior status, only that Jesus had asked her to share what she'd received. It's a testament to how humility and courage can intertwine in the quest for truth. Modern reflections and final resonance. As we consider these secrets, one about the mind's role in spiritual vision, the other about the soul's ascent, what do they mean for us now? In an age where science and skepticism often overshadow faith, Mary Magdalene's revelations invite us to reclaim our capacity for wonder. The mind between soul and spirit suggests that discernment and spiritual perception aren't random or superstitious. They're processes we can develop. By training our inner awareness through prayer, meditation, or mindful contemplation, we might glimpse truths hidden from our purely rational worldview. Similarly, the ascent of the soul offers a transformative model. If fear, desire, and ignorance hold us back, then acknowledging these forces is the first step to dissolving them. In a society driven by material gain and digital noise, the idea of gradually shedding layers to unite with our higher nature stands in stark contrast. Mary's account underscores that this path is challenging yet deeply fulfilling, promising an inner freedom that surpasses any external achievement. Finally, Mary Magdalene's role should serve as a reminder that profound teachings can flow through unexpected vessels. Her story breaks the mold of rigid hierarchies, suggesting that if our heart is open, our past pain or societal standing doesn't limit our spiritual potential. In fact, those trials might be the forge that shapes us for receiving and sharing divine wisdom. Two secrets, two glimpses into the core of early Christian mysticism, handed not to a prominent apostle, but to a dedicated, courageous woman. The deeper you look, the clearer it becomes that Mary Magdalene's story isn't just about the past. It challenges us to expand our hearts, sharpen our minds, and embark on our own journey of transformation. If these revelations stirred your curiosity or offered fresh insight, consider subscribing to our channel for more explorations into spiritual history. And if you feel called, share your thoughts below. Which obstacle in the soul's ascent resonates most strongly with you? How do you nurture the mind that bridges soul and spirit in your own life? By engaging and supporting this content, liking, sharing, or even using the Super Thanks feature, you help keep these remarkable histories alive. As Mary Magdalene's example shows, the path to deeper understanding isn't restricted to a chosen few. It beckons all who dare to follow it wholeheartedly.